What if I told you that the biggest difference between wealthy people and everyone else isn't money? It's their calendar. Most people believe rich people think differently about money, and that's true. But before wealthy people manage money differently, they manage time differently. Because money can be lost and earned again. Time cannot. Every person on earth gets the same 24 hours each day. The billionaire, the business owner, the employee, the student, the entrepreneur. Everyone starts the day with exactly the same amount of time. Yet some people create extraordinary results while others spend years running in circles. Why? Because wealthy thinkers don't see time the way most people do. They don't treat time as something to spend. They treat it as something to invest. And that single shift changes everything. Think about the average person's calendar. Most days are filled with reactions. Responding to messages. Responding to emails. Responding to requests. Responding to emergencies. Responding to problems. Their schedule is controlled by whatever appears in front of them. The day happens to them. But wealthy thinkers approach time differently. Instead of reacting to life, they design it. Before the day begins, they already know what matters most. Before distractions appear, priorities are already set. Before opportunities arrive, they know exactly what deserves attention. Because successful people understand something that most people ignore. Your calendar is a mirror of your future. Show me your calendar, and I'll show you the direction of your life. Because every hour is a vote for who you are becoming, a vote for your future income, a vote for your future health, a vote for your future relationships, a vote for your future freedom. And the wealthy take those votes seriously. One of the biggest differences between wealthy thinkers and everyone else is that they think in years while most people think in days. The average person wakes up asking, "What do I need to do today?" A wealthy thinker asks, "What can I do today that will matter 5 years from now?" That question changes everything, because most activities produce immediate results, but only a few activities create long-term transformation. Scrolling creates immediate entertainment. Learning creates future value. Consuming creates temporary satisfaction. Building creates long-term rewards, and wealthy thinkers spend more time building than consuming. Now here's something interesting. Most people believe wealthy individuals are obsessed with productivity, but that's not entirely true. They're obsessed with leverage. Productivity helps you do more. Leverage helps you achieve more with less. The average person fills every hour. The wealthy person protects certain hours, because they understand that not all hours are equal. One focused hour spent learning a valuable skill may be worth more than 10 hours of random activity. One strategic decision may create results for years. One conversation may create opportunities for decades. One investment of time can completely change a life. That's why wealthy thinkers don't just manage hours. They manage high-value hours. And that's where most people make a critical mistake. They organize their schedule around urgency. Wealthy thinkers organize their schedule around importance. Urgent tasks scream for attention. Important tasks quietly create the future. Exercise is important. Learning is important. Planning is important. Building skills is important. Creating assets is important. But none of these activities usually feel urgent. And because they don't feel urgent, most people postpone them. Days become weeks. Weeks become years. Years become regret. The wealthy understand this trap. That's why they schedule important activities before urgent ones take over. Because if you don't decide where your time goes, something else will decide for you. Another fascinating difference is how wealthy thinkers view free time. The average person sees free time as an escape, a break from responsibilities, a chance to disconnect. But wealthy thinkers often view free time as an opportunity, a chance to think, a chance to learn, a chance to create, a chance to improve. That doesn't mean they never relax. It means they understand the value of intentional time, because intentional time compounds, just like money. Imagine reading for 30 minutes every day. It doesn't feel life-changing. But after 5 years, you've absorbed knowledge that most people never will. Imagine learning a skill for 1 hour each day. After a decade, you're no longer competing with beginners. You're operating at a completely different level. Small investments of time create massive returns, but only if they're made consistently. This is why wealthy thinkers obsess over calendars, not because they're controlling, but because they understand a simple truth. Your future is hidden inside your daily schedule. Look at your last 7 days. That's probably what your next 7 years will resemble unless something changes. Because success is rarely created by a single moment. It's usually created by repeated patterns. Patterns become habits. Habits become lifestyles. Lifestyles become outcomes. And outcomes become your life. Now let's talk about something even more important. The wealthy don't just protect their time. They protect their attention. Because attention is where time creates value. You can spend 2 hours working while thinking about 10 different things. Or you can spend 30 focused minutes producing extraordinary results. The difference isn't time, it's attention. And attention has become one of the most valuable resources in the modern world. Every notification, every distraction, every interruption, every unnecessary meeting, every endless scroll. They're all competing for your attention. And whoever controls your attention often controls your future. That's why wealthy thinkers are extremely selective about what enters their calendar. They understand that saying yes to one thing means saying no to something else. Every commitment has a hidden cost. Every meeting costs time. Every distraction costs focus. Every unnecessary obligation costs opportunity. And opportunity cost is one of the most important concepts in wealth creation. Because every hour spent on one activity is an hour unavailable for another. The wealthy understand this deeply. That's why they don't ask, "How can I fill my calendar?" They ask, "What deserves a place on my calendar?" There is a huge difference. One creates busyness. The other creates progress. And perhaps the biggest lesson of all is this. The wealthy do not wait until they become successful to value their time. They become successful because they valued their time before anyone else did, long before the money arrived, long before the recognition arrived, long before the results appeared. They invested their hours wisely. While others were distracted, while others were waiting, while others were consuming, they were building. And eventually those invisible investments began producing visible rewards. Because wealth is not simply a money game. It's a time game. Money follows value. Value follows effort. Effort follows attention. And attention follows your calendar. So if you want to understand your financial future, don't start by looking at your bank account. Start by looking at your schedule. Because your calendar is more than a list of appointments. It's a blueprint for your future. And the people who become wealthy understand something that most people never realize. The goal is not to own more things. The goal is to own more of your time. Because in the end, the richest person in the room is often not the one with the most money. It's the one who has the most control over how they spend their days. And if you're serious about building wealth and changing your financial future, smash that subscribe button right now and join us for the next episode.